Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moments. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Swallowed Star episode number 238 based on novel. So let's start. How do I sentence them? Luo Feng's eyes burned with rage, yet he smiled coldly. How do you think I'll do it? Impressive. The virtual universe company sure is impressive. They actually give me this as the final of the highest point mission, and they even make me sentence my father. Luo Feng clearly remembered all the details of the 21 people on the list, of which the clearest in his mind was that of his father. His father's name there, it stated he had killed many important universe citizens. Of course his father had never done anything personally. One had to know he had always been on Earth and all he does was play virtual universe games, and he naturally couldn't make a move himself. The information the company had given was, Luo Hongguo was one of the die-hard players of the virtual universe game Grey Snow World. The virtual games had a huge influence on the 1008 universe countries. Because, to become an absolute warrior, it took tens of thousands of warriors for one universe level to be produced, sector lord chances were much lower. Hence, with many unable to progress on that path, having no dreams to pursue and rich offspring, jobs that gave them lots of time, they would all naturally choose to play these games. 100% simulation, it felt exactly like reality. If they couldn't become an absolute warrior in reality, they may still become one in these games. They could still command an army and dominate the world. How intoxicating was that? Hence, the virtual universe games were an exceptionally developed business, they had a huge market and the competition within was naturally terrifying. The games the virtual universe company made themselves however take up a huge portion of the market, of which, Grey Snow World was one of the top 10 games. The highest amount of online players at a time had even reached 1/3 of citizens in a universe country. With that many players, the benefits within the game were naturally shocking. Luo Hongguo. With Luo Feng as his son, he was naturally one of the wealthy players within. His son would casually give him wealth equivalent to that of a sector lord to play. And the true warriors would normally only play these games a little. Training and strengthening their body was the most fundamental to them. Luo Hongguo had money and was incredibly passionate about the games. Thirdly, he had a talent to play these games. Last but not least, Luo Feng had forcefully made his father reach universe level. Hence, his consciousness level and reaction speeds etc. were far ahead of many other players. Naturally, he made a name within. Luo Hongguo had created a union within, called Nirvana. The Nirvana union grew extremely fast. However, with the players of Grey Snow World spread throughout the 1008 universe countries, many of them being the descendants of families with no hope of growing stronger, they had a lot of time to kill. These were the empty souls of reality, but they grew alive through the games. Hence, the competition amongst the unions within the games were usually brutal. Hence, this eventually resulted in disasters within reality as well. For example, the members of a union may appear in reality to kill another, making it naturally crumble. Even though the virtual universe company wouldn't reveal its players' information, the communication between players may result in unintentional revelation of information. There were also many players that called their friends by names when a large group of them were playing together. The moment one person was compromised, everyone's information would definitely be revealed. During the growth of the Nirvana Union, there were thousands of assassination incidents in reality. Some of them were extremely brutal. As the leader of the Nirvana Union, Luo Hongguo naturally had to take up this responsibility. Stupid. Luo Feng raged within. He was so mad that he was about to go crazy. My father had always been a normal person who worked very hard in life. When he was young, he didn't even get to go to school before the Great Nirvana happened. Later on, he worked hard to take care of me and my brother. He doesn't know anything about schemes. Without a good education, plain and simple, how could he have the makings of a leader of a union? How could Luo Feng not be clear on how his father was like? No matter what he did, he worked hard to survive and grow his family. When he played the virtual games he was completely immersed within, how would he know about the dangers hidden within? At its peak, 1/3 of the civilians of a universe country are online playing it simultaneously. That means at its peak, there was one playing out of 3,000 civilians at the time. Luo Feng had tried playing the games before. Every game was like a new world altogether, it was extremely addictive. A game with that many players, how huge are its benefits? With the payouts, there would naturally be schemes and hidden things going on. The Nirvana Union's growth speed, how shocking is it? Simply relying on his father, gathering countless elites to grow the Union in the game itself, that wasn't too possible. If his father had such foresight and skill, he wouldn't have had to work hard for 10 to 20 years to support them before. Luo Feng's eyes gleamed. Maybe it's because his money, or they know of his status, they think that the father of the supervisor envoy of the Ganwu department is powerful enough. Hence they all entered and helped build his union. Ganwu department supervisor envoy. Huge figure. To those players, this was an absolute power that ranked in the top 10 of a universe country. For his father to actually play the game and to build a union, they would naturally join him. Having money and power naturally had their benefits. Virtual Universe, Black Dragon Mountain Island 9-star Bay. Luo Feng's house. Give the order. Luo Feng ordered. Swiftly capture these 20, don't let any of them get away. After which, he slammed a piece of paper on the table. Why are you unhappy? Shushin looked at the paper. The 20 names on the list. Luo Fuxin, Luo Yu Qian, Luo Yu Rong. Shushin was shocked after reading the list. She looked at Luo Feng and asked suspiciously, why are you capturing these 20? They all have their own businesses, and are considered exceptional amongst the later generations of offspring in the Luo family. Their businesses are doing all right, of which 3 of them I was prepared to absorb into the family for important matters. Absorb them? Luo Feng said coldly, don't speak anymore, hurry and capture these 20. Remember, don't let anyone get away. All right. Shushin didn't ask any more, immediately arranging for their captures. When it came to the main matters in the family, Shushin was usually in charge of them. In terms of management ability, she was indeed strong. Also, grab all of them and bring them to Chenoa planet. Luo Feng said coldly, I'll be there in 3 days. The previous 3 missions had never enraged Luo Feng this much. It may be from the fact that his later generations weren't determined enough, or the fact that the Virtual Universe company purposely made him do such a thing. The raging Luo Feng didn't want to slowly fly over from the Gu Lun Virtual Universe country in a ship. He used Dylan's God Country teleportation to immediately return to the Milky Way galaxy. And after which he headed to Chenoa planet. Black Dragon Mountain Empire, Chiao Long Star. In a luxurious mansion, all those that headed in and out seemed wealthy. The owner of the place was Luo Fuxin. He was the energy businessman that suddenly rose up within the Black Dragon Mountain Empire. The energy business was one that had sudden huge profits, and the entry requirements were also extremely high. And yet, he was still one no one dared to mess with. Even the royal family passionately supported him. Lord Luo, Lord Luo. A piercing voice resounded. A skinny skeleton middle-aged man dressed in exquisite golden robes brought a group of people along the mansion halls, shouting as they walked. From far, a person walked over. It was a handsome youth, dressed in a similarly exquisite robe. He laughed carefreely, Ka-Tuosai, my dear Ka-Tuosai, I've missed you. Ah, let me see the group of beautiful women behind you. The youth's eyes gleamed as he saw the women of all races behind. Lord Luo, these are the absolute beauties that I've painstakingly searched over 10 star fields for you. The skinny middle-aged man laughed slyly. He was very clear on how powerful this youth before him was. Even the Ganwu business department had to treat the supervisor envoy with respect. And the business head of the Ganwu department was already considered the greatest boss of the Ganwu universe country's business dealings. Who would dare offend that boss? Anyone that did so could simply give up on business altogether. Hence, he naturally had to get in this youth's good books. He knew. Even the departments all didn't dare mess with him. Also, anyone that went against him would all die. The youth carefully examined the ladies, complimenting, my dear Ka-Tuosai, I am very grateful to you. I'll give you an extra 25% share of the energy crystals that you require. 25%? I spend so much energy just to get so little, what a stingy fellow. The middle-aged man cursed within. However, he still displayed a smile full of gratitude, saying, Lord Luo, you are too generous. If you need anything, just give the order, I will do my best. Rumble. 3 beams of light shot down from the sky. Who is it? To actually dare barge in on Luo residence. As they roared, a group of universe-level slave guards rushed out. The 3 beams of light landed directly before the youth, releasing their powerful energies. 3 domain lords. The middle-aged man shuddered as he saw them. In the low-level civilization of the Silver Blue Empire, the strongest was only Domain Lord level 3. And now, 3 domain lords appeared before them. Who are you? How dare you barge in on Luo residence? Luo Fuxin, on the family leader's orders, we are here to arrest you. One of the 3 domain lords took out a warrant and captured the terrified Luo Fuxin after. They flew black through the skies. I am Luo Yuqian, how dare you capture me? You must be tired of living. I am a member of the Luo family, who are you? The Gamwu supervisor envoy is my family leader, how dare you capture me? The offspring of the Luo family had power even greater than the royal family of the Black Dragon Mountain Empire princes, and these 20 were considered vicious within the family. With such methods, their achievements were naturally huge. However, when they found out it was the leader that had sent for them to be captured, they were all stunned. Rumble. The blood-colored triangular ship became a beam of light rushing towards the Milky Way galaxy's Chenoa planet. Within the control room, Luo Feng's cold gaze stared at the planet before him, almost like he could see the captured offspring of the family within. Chenoa planet, it was an important place for the Luo family in the Milky Way galaxy. And since Earth was discovered to be valuable by the Virtual Universe Company and the huge Axe Dojo, having a huge floating city built on Earth, Luo Feng began to decrease the use of the old Luo residence. Instead, he focused more on the home in the Virtual Universe Black Dragon Mountain Island in 9-Star Bay. Chenoa planet was one of their important gathering spots too. The number of Luo family members staying here long-term exceeded 60,000. Chenoa planet, East Hemisphere, there was a jail for the Luo family surrounded by a copper wall with a diameter of over 1,000 kilometers. Great-grandfather, save me, save me. Within a cell, a handsome Luo Fuxin knelt within and grabbed the bars and cried. Within each of these cells were railings and other constructs of a normal jail. The materials used were of C9 to E9 alloys. Just what did you do to make the family leader catch you? Luo Hai's eyes gleamed like lightning, looking angrily at Luo Fuxin. Great-grandfather, I really don't know, I really don't know. I've always held myself to high standards, I didn't dare break the family set limits. Even though he was afraid within, on the surface he still maintained his innocent composure. He carefully recalled everything he did before. He thought he had been extremely cautious and prudent, not leaving any traces behind. There was no way for him to know. The Virtual Universe Company had surveillance throughout all the life planets, especially any planet that had humans, on few aboriginal planets and others yet to be discovered, along with warrior territories. All these were all completely under surveillance. Everything Luo Fuxin had done, although it was untraceable by the family investigation team, the Virtual Universe Company however could find out everything easily. All right, I'll help you. As long as you haven't broken the family rules, I will guarantee you that you won't die. Luo Hai emphasized. Luo Feng had 2 sons, Luo Hai and Luo Ping. Luo Hai was a lot like Luo Feng, he enjoyed training and exploring the universe. Luo Ping was more like his mother Xuxin, he enjoyed management matters. The 2 of them had received the most exceptional education and hundreds of years of training. Both of them were very smart. Over the hundreds of years, Luo Hai had countless descendants too, of which there were naturally a few he favored. Luo Fuxin was one that he pampered more. Chenoa planet, Luo family's plaza. Over 100,000 people had gathered here, all dressed differently. Other than the men in the family, many of their wives had gathered there too. Standing ahead of the entire crowd was Xuxin, Luo Ping, and Luo Hai, along with Di Fan and some other sector lords. Rumble. A blood-colored triangular ship descended and landed in the plaza. The 100,000 people all didn't dare make a sound. Many of them were shivering with excitement as they saw the cabin door open. The Luo family's most exceptional foundation and core, he was the pillar of the entire family, the family leader Luo Feng, he had finally come. Many of the people were seeing him for the first time. Many children dragged over by their parents all stared wide-eyed. The cabin door opened. 2 silhouettes walked out. One of them was a black-haired youth in green armor, he had a gold blade on his forehead. That powerful piercing gold law energy made people shudder. Beside him was a black-robed bald man that gave off an immense and seemingly endless amount of power. This made the countless family members all shiver with excitement. That is the family leader, what terrifying energy. Beside him is the legendary Undying guard of his. Undying, yet he's only a guard for our family leader. They were all extremely excited. Suddenly, greetings family leader. 100,000 family members all knelt down, only Xuxin, Luo Ping, Luo Hai and few others remained standing. Luo Feng and Dylan flew down. Simultaneously, Luo Feng kept the Yun Mo planet ship. Shushin, how's it going? Have all the 20 been captured and brought over? Luo Feng walked over to her and asked softly. Not that fast. Shushin shook her head. Some are in other star fields. Even if I arrange for E9 grade ships to rush at their fastest speeds, they cannot get here in 3 days. It'll probably be, the slowest will reach here in 12 days. Right now, there are already 9 in the jails here of Chenoa planet. Luo Feng nodded. He had traveled here via God Country teleportation. Naturally it was fast. Dad, why did you capture these 20? Luo Hai couldn't help but ask. We'll talk later. Luo Feng's gaze swept past the blur of 100,000 people. All of them added together seemed like there was a sea of people. Even though all of them were kneeling there, however, Luo Feng sighed within. The family has indeed grown huge, including the women. The family members have exceeded 1 million. When I return from Primal Chaos City, the members would probably have exceeded over 10 million. The more people there are, the more the family has to enforce strict rules. We cannot let them simply enjoy. After which, Luo Feng brought Shushin and the others towards the living quarters. The 100,000 people waited till he left before all getting up, leaving and dispersing. Within the warm living room, Luo Feng, Shushin, Luo Ping, and Luo Hai all sat about casually in the sofa. Dad? Luo Hai couldn't help but ask again, why have you ordered for the capture of these 20? That Luo Fuxin, I watched him grow up since young, is very exceptional and smart. Don't accuse wrongly the disciples of the family. Shut up. Luo Feng ordered coldly. Luo Hai was completely shocked. Luo Ping and Shushin were shocked too. They could feel that Luo Feng's temper today was explosive. Exceptional? Smart? Luo Feng said coldly, however he didn't use it in the right ways. 1. He doesn't train seriously to become a warrior. 2. He relies on underhanded methods to run his business. He already has the Ganwu business department's full support, and the help of the Black Dragon Mountain Empire. If he works just a little, there's no way he can fail. However, he still uses these methods. Looks like he was brought up used to being pampered, without any setbacks. The moment he encounters an opponent, or obstruction, he doesn't know how to use competition to win them over. Instead, he simply kills them. Smart indeed, exceptional. Luo Hai, Luo Ping, and Shushin were shocked. Luo Feng, do you have proof? Shushin asked. The family investigation department didn't. They didn't find anything. That's their incompetence. This is the information the virtual universe company gave me personally. It's definitely solid and foolproof. Would it be wrong? Luo Feng frowned. Also, with the family growing more and more, and our resource growing along with it, we are allowing the later generations to enjoy the benefits. However, even with so much resources, against a sea of people it would still be little. Hence, we have to increase the difficulty of actually acquiring these benefits, selections, competition, also training them well, strengthening the rules of the family. Shushin nodded. These are all within the plan. HM. Luo Feng nodded, the rage on his face finally dissipating a little. He sighed. I know that the large families of the universe, with the amount of people within, would naturally have such problems. However, I didn't expect for the bloodline members, at below 1 million, to already have such problems. Shushin, help me prepare. When all 20 are here, I want to hold family trial, make all the members on Chenoa planet come. All right. Shushin nodded. This trial was extremely important and Luo Feng was very prudent about it, not just for the virtual universe company, but also for his family. He wanted to use this to scare his family, letting them know the severity of breaking the family rules. The moment the family rules were unbridled, there would be many corrupt members within the family. This was something he didn't wish to see. Your Majesty Luo Feng, this is the information you requested. Thanks. Luo Feng had requested information from the Virtual Universe Company's information department regarding Luo Fuxin, Luo Yurong, and all 21 of them. These required very low authority to gather, hence they were easily sent to him. After viewing all of it, Luo Feng couldn't help but grit his teeth and rage at the incompetence of the later generations. On the 13th day after Luo Feng returned, all of the bloodline members were gathered in the family court. The court was extremely huge, and was large enough to hold 1 million people to watch. I heard the leader wants to sentence a few members within. Who is he sentencing? I don't know. I heard they secretly captured quite a few, over 100, and he's personally sentencing them. It must be serious. Close to 100,000 members had gathered within the court and were discussing in hushed voices. Immediately buzzing noises could be heard within as the court and the doors opened. All the members immediately grew silent and 20 handcuffed men and women were dragged out. Look, it's Luo Fuxin. It's Luo Tianqi. Wow, it's Luo Fangqiong, the beauty in the family, she was captured too. The many members were shocked as they watched the scene. 20 members of the family, all of them were forced to kneel on the ground. There was nobody initially in the main seat earlier. Suddenly one silhouette appeared. It was a black-armored Luo Feng. His gaze was as sharp as blades as he looked down on the 20. Family leader. Close to 100,000 members all shouted respectfully, after which there was silence. Family leader. The 20 members kneeling below all looked up in fear at the legendary being. He was a true power and pillar of the family, ranked in the top 10 of the absolute powers of the entire Ganwu universe country, Luo Feng. And right now he was gazing coldly at them, like they were 20 ants. Amongst the close to 100,000 people, Xu Xin, Luo Ping, and Luo Hai etc. were there too. Luo Fuxin, do you know your crimes? Luo Feng said coldly. Family leader, I don't know. Luo Fuxin knelt there. The knowledge from before all useless, he could only force the words out. You don't, you have only been living for about 100 years. Luo Feng's voice was cold, yet you've killed over 10,000 innocent people that have never had any grudges with you only because they affected your business. Killing in itself is not wrong, but after killing so many innocent people, you should die too. Luo Fuxin stared wide-eyed wanting to say more. You think that the family investigation department can't find anything? Yes, you are very careful and clever, not leaving any traces behind. However, if the family cannot find it, it doesn't mean the virtual universe company can't. Luo Feng stood high above and looked down on him. Luo Fuxin's face immediately went pale. The 19 others kneeling behind all changed their expressions when they heard that, and close to 100,000 people listening in court all were shocked as well. My God, so the family leader could check through the virtual universe company's information department on all of them. The company was such a huge power, who would dare say they couldn't find anything? I sentence you to death. Luo Feng raised his fingers. A blade flashed and pierced through Luo Fuxin's forehead, leaving behind a bloody cavity. The kneeling Luo Fuxin had a face full of fear, after which it dimmed and he fell on the floor, blood pouring out and staining the floor. This scene shocked the close to 100,000 members within the court. This scene was also sent via synchronized broadcast over to the virtual universe company's upper echelon members who were judging Luo Feng. Luo Fuxin fell on the ground of the court, as fresh blood flowed from his forehead. This scene made everybody shudder. That's the family leader. He really doesn't show any mercy. Too strict. The family members all had a blind sense of worship and respect to this legendary being Luo Feng. The entire family started from him. If anyone else in the family was carrying out this trial and that sparked disagreement, no one would dare even be any bit unsatisfied with Luo Feng carrying out any punishment. They would only think of him as strict. Next, Luo Yuqian. Luo Feng gazed at the next person below. Do you know your crimes? The beautiful Luo Yurong that looked almost like a girl was completely pale. He put his head on the ground and said, Yuqian knows his crimes. Luo Yurong. Luo Feng's gaze landed on a gentle-looking girl that looked exactly like Luo Yuqian beside. Do you know your crimes? Family leader, I? Luo Yurong seemed to want to tear before lowering her head. I do. Luo Feng nodded. He immediately sentenced them, Luo Yurong, for bewitching your older brother Luo Yuqian. You cannot be pardoned, death. After which Luo Feng lifted his finger and shot a gold beam of light. This gold lore-infused attack pierced right through her forehead, leaving behind a bloody cavity. Rumble. Luo Yurong fell on the floor, her face still filled with shock, regret, resentment. Little sister. Luo Yuqian immediately stared wide-eyed, his tears flowing. Luo Feng said coldly above, Luo Yuqiang, you pamper and empower your sister, not separating business and family ties. I sentence you to 10,000 years in jail. Large amounts of the members within the court were all shocked. This was because Luo Yuqian's name in the family was actually very well reputed, and they could tell that their crimes were mostly because of his younger sister. Jail for 10,000 years, he was only still at the star level. His lifespan wasn't longer than one era. He would simply die in jail. Unless he could break through to universe level in jail. Otherwise, he would stay in there till he died. Also, without all the resources the Luo family provided, just simply relying on his own capability, it was simply too hard to break through to universe level. Relying on power to massacre, you reek of blood, your crimes are severe, death. Vicious, however you are still young and haven't done much, jail for 100 years. Evil crimes, death. Jail for 10,000 years. Death. Death. Jail for 100 years. Death. The entire court was tense. Luo Feng gazed coldly at the members below and carried out their sentences one by one. The virtual universe company had intentionally arranged for different levels of crimes within the 21, some heavier, some light, some with lesser information. Luo Feng, however, went according to the detailed information the information department had given him. His sentences were carried out according to the family rules. Luo Feng didn't care about any of the different rules of the universe country. The Luo family had its own rules, some areas extremely strict, some more lax. It was something Luo Feng, Xuxin, Luo Hua, and others had worked together to put in place. 20 family members, of which 13 were sentenced to death, 4 were jailed for 10,000 years and 3 for 100 years. One had to know that amongst these 20, only one had become universe level and he was put to death by Luo Feng. Hence, those that were jailed for 10,000 years all faced a dilemma. They had to break through to universe level within the jail or they'd simply grow old and die within. Death. When Luo Feng killed the final member there, the atmosphere in the court had reached an extreme level. In the past, when they held their trials, the death sentences weren't carried out in the court there, and they weren't done by the family leader himself. All of my members listen carefully. Luo Feng's eyes gazed coldly at the surrounding close to 100,000 members in the court, saying coldly, the family rules aren't for you to mess with, even if you think you can get past the family investigation. Do you think you can get past the virtual universe company's information department? The close to 100,000 members all listened intently. Along the path of becoming strong, killing is normal, killing a person in rage is normal. Luo Feng said coldly, and even accidentally killing 1 or 2 innocents can be explained as carelessness. However, by killing 100 to thousands, these are intentional acts. Do you think you can explain that? Even for a sector lord or undying, the moment they pass the limit, they too would be put to death. Don't think that the family will protect you and allow you to carry on with your ways. Don't think that you are clever enough to avoid the investigation department and thus continue on. You want to simply enjoy life, no problem. The lowest family resource grants can completely allow you to play virtual games till you die. However, these too have a limit. The moment you pass the limit, Luo Feng pointed below at the scene of fresh blood, bodies and lifelessness, the terrifying picture, you'll end up like them. After which, Luo Feng became a beam of light and left, leaving behind the silent members within. They were all shocked. Almost all of them went back to carefully study the family rules, to prevent themselves from ever having to receive such punishments. The scene today had let all of them know that Luo Feng wasn't joking. This news also swiftly spread to the other members who were dispersed throughout the many star fields and planets, as all of them watched the broadcast of the trial. Including the women, the members exceeded over 1 million, and they were all shocked. Some of them who were doing evil deeds had immediately changed their ways. Chenoa planet. Luo Feng stood on the top floor of a palace and said solemnly, "My father Luo Honghua, innocent." The virtual universe company requested for 21 to be judged. No matter what, he still had to do it. Even though Luo Feng didn't capture his father or sentence him, he had long made his decision about him. To kill his father? He'd rather go up against the company itself. He would never let his father die. He could never forget that back then, his father was drenched in sweat, thirstily drinking water from a large plastic cup. Close the synchronized broadcast. Luo Feng said softly. Got it. Barbata cheered. The highest point mission is finally over. It's over. Luo Feng nodded gently. Whether it was the completion rate of the 4th level or how much extra reward they would give him, these were all matters for the upper echelon members to decide. At least, it was all over now. The final 4th level with the most points. The first level was judging 18 executives of the Flame Wind organization. The second level was choosing which to one save. The third was judging the 19 sector lords and 2 undyings in front of the Blood Demon Emperor. The 4th level was judging his own family members, including his father. Testing my character? Seeing how I truly am? Luo Feng thought. Now that the mission is over, I wonder if they can understand who I truly am. Night. The top level of the palace was very cold. Luo Feng stood there silently. Feng. A voice resounded. Luo Feng turned. It was Shushin in a white fur coat. She smiled. What are you thinking about? Are you still thinking about today's trial? You had indeed shocked all the children of the family. Even those in the far-away galaxies and other starfields were all shocked. That's good, they should be afraid. Luo Feng said. Right. Shushin nodded. Shushin. Luo Feng suddenly flipped his hand and produced a simple-looking laser gun. This is? Shushin was shocked. E9 laser gun. Luo Feng smiled and explained. Its storage time is 0.1 seconds and it can kill normal Sector Lord level 9 warriors. This E9 laser gun, combined with the planet security system, the moment any enemy barges into the planet, with the security system triggering the gun, in a short 0.1 seconds, even a Sector Lord wouldn't be able to rush over. After its preparation is complete, when you are close, just fire it and kill him. This is definitely an ultimate weapon. Shushin nodded. Even within the royal family of the Black Dragon Mountain Empire, they didn't have such a weapon. Sector Lord level 9 warriors usually couldn't keep watch over an area for a long time as their lifespans were limited, and this laser gun simply required maintenance and it could last forever. Even though Luo Feng had Sector Lord level 9 warriors in the family, those were his guards. When Luo Feng reached Sector Lord level, the guards would all leave. At that point, Luo Feng would only be left with one Sector Lord DI fan. With this E9 laser gun, the family will be much safer. Shushin said excitedly. This space ring is also for you. Luo Feng passed it to his wife. Shushin took it curiously. This is? Automaton ship. Luo Feng said, the main cannon of this ship is terrifying and is akin to an Undying's attack. Naturally, the power is much stronger than the E9 laser gun. However, its range of attack is too huge and storage time is too long, its efficiency cannot compare to the laser gun. However, it's still another ultimate weapon. Shushin nodded. Akin to an Undying's attack, this was definitely a restricted weapon. Of course, you and my parents all stay on Earth, and Earth right now is considered the safest place in the entire Ganwu universe country. Luo Feng smiled. What a joke, that majestic shrine in the solar system, just what level of being was stationed there, Luo Feng couldn't even imagine. And with that one absolute being there, even if other race enemies appear, he could call a large army through God country teleportation. Luo Feng, why do I feel like you are planning something? Shushin said suspiciously. I will be gone for a long time this time. Very long, far longer than any time before. Luo Feng said. Where to? Shushin asked. Primal Chaos City. Luo Feng said. How long? Shushin asked nervously. Not sure, at least 1,000 years. Luo Feng sighed. When I come back next time, I'll be Sector Lord Pinnacle. At least 1,000 years, and in Primal Chaos City? Shushin asked curiously. I know a lot about training matters too, and you are now already recognized by the Gold Laws. This training didn't even take 500 years, and your training efficiency in Primal Chaos City is much higher too. Why do you need to train for so long? You wouldn't understand. Luo Feng said. Shushin didn't bother anymore. Anyway, we can meet in the virtual universe network. Luo Feng saw how his wife didn't seem to care much. He couldn't help but laugh. The normal management of the super organization Ping Hai Company and the family matters were all taken care of by her, and it was only before him that she acted this way. She normally upheld a sense of power and fear. Luo Feng, there's mail. It must be regarding the highest point mission. Barbata's voice resounded within his mind. Luo Feng sent a thread of consciousness into the virtual universe network. This video will end here. Thank you for watching.